This is Smallzy Surgery.
Tonight's guest has collabed with artists like SZA, Shawn Mendes, John Mayer, Quincy Jones. The list is endless. He's got himself 7 Grammys. He's just wrapped up playing a couple of shows. And for the very first time, he's coming into the Surge.
And the Grammy goes to Jacob Collier.
Yo, this is amazing.
What's up, everybody? My name is Jacob Collier.
Don't be afraid of the dark.
I just saw myself beautiful.
I'm hanging out with Smallzy.
I'm very excited to welcome tonight's guest to the show. Please, for the first time ever, Jacob Collier is in the building.
Hi, everybody.
Hello, my man. Welcome in.
Thank you so much.
You are, they call you the Mozart of Generation Z, I
They
believe.
don't, do they?
Well, that's what I read.
Oh, come on now.
Yeah. I've been I've watched your videos and watched you from afar and been very impressed for a number of years.
Oh, thank you.
It's very
That's lovely.
exciting to meet you.
Likewise.
The hair, I can confirm, is as impressive in the flesh.
It's spiking today.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
now,
for some reason.
it's your look, right? The hair. It's as important as what you do.
Some say so.
Yes. Is that just naturally how you wake up, or do you put time and effort into that?
It kind of wakes up spiky.
Yeah, okay.
On days like these.
You lean into it, though.
Yeah.
You lean into
for
it.
For sure.
Now, let me quickly, for people who maybe don't know the stats of you, I want to get through this. 7-time Grammy winner, 15-time Grammy nominated. That's more than a lot of artists get in their entire course of their career. And how old are you? 12. 12?
Yeah.
He's 12 years old. He's done a lot in his time. The first one blows you away. Grammy win. Second one, you're like, holy shit, I'm quite good at this. When you get to 7, what goes through your head when you win the 7th?
It doesn't get less surreal. It's always mind-blowing. Never something I considered as a kid that would ever happen to me. But it's very, very, very honoured to be counted amongst that number, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, when did you realise you had a gift? A musical talent?
Well, I would say I knew I was curious as a kid,
Okay.
and I say curious in a multitude of ways. I knew I was an oddball, and I also knew that I was very interested in things. I really wanted to understand music. How does it work? It's like casting a spell. How do these molecules wiggling around in the air? How do they make you feel stuff?
Is that what you're thinking as a kid?
Well, yeah.
Wow, okay.
Because that's what's going on.
Growing up as a kid, I was like, wow, I really love that song. That's fun. Turn the radio up. I don't think about that stuff, but you thought when you enjoyed music growing up as a kid, you were thinking about it at a whole different depth and level that what everyone else was.
Well, for some reason, I wanted to answer the questions like why. How do they do that? Like, why does it feel big or small or wide or narrow? Or why does it feel happy or sad or you know? It's so I just was so interested in it that I couldn't help myself but explore it thoroughly. Yeah. And I think that's kind of where anyone's gift comes from is from a deep curiosity at first.
Yeah, totally. I completely agree with you. And then started making YouTube videos, and then did it snowball from there, or was there a couple of years of, I don't know what I'm going to be doing. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just doing something that I enjoy.
Yeah. Well, I kind of kept my head down and just made stuff I really, really cared about and stuff I thought was beautiful. And I was so excited when things started to pick up. But I'm also kind of grateful because, you know, I've been in this game about 12 years now. And so which is the length of time I've been alive.
Yeah, I was going to say, you said today he was born. He's
exactly.
been in the biz.
So I've enjoyed a kind of quite a gradual... but thorough sort of curve, and I've been able to tune into different stages in the industry. You know, I started out playing, for example, playing venues. First time I came here, I played a venue called the Metro, which is super raucous and super fun. I remember that show so vividly. And then now at the end of this show, I'm playing at the ICC here in Sydney,
which is crazy,
amongst others, which is crazy. So I'm grateful that I was able to learn the ropes at each stage along the way, and kind of be grateful for each of those stages. I've always really done things on my own terms. You know,
I like that. So you are going to be back here playing shows in December in Brisbane at Fortitude Music Hall, then in Sydney at the ICC, as you said, and then in Melbourne at Margaret Court Arena. Your live shows are something else. You're famous. People may have seen the viral TikToks of you sort of getting the audience into a choir moment, right?
Sure, right.
I think maybe I'm going to play a bit of the Coldplay one because I think that's probably the most viral that happened on TikTok. This was you, Chris Martin, and Fix You. And those harmonies in the background is the crowd that you worked. Yeah. I would have mad goosebumps being there in the flesh, having one of those moments happening. Do you get goosebumps doing it?
Every time.
Yeah.
It never gets old. And you know, so the way that works, if you're listening and have no idea what's going on, is, you know, I tend to divide the audience into sections. I don't tell them what's going to happen. I just show them.
Yeah.
But, you know, say there's a group of people, they're this side and they're singing this note, and then these guys singing this note, and over on the right singing this note. And what I did once on stage, which I will never forget, and which was the foundation for all of this work, was I looked at one side of the audience who was singing a note, and I just pointed up, and they all moved to the next note up in the scale.
Oh, wow.
And that was the sort of like mind exploding moment where I thought, actually, maybe everyone in the world is a musician, you know, and a bunch of these people aren't musicians. They don't call themselves musicians at all. They're just people. Yeah. But if you ever listen to music and formed a relationship with it, then you kind of have a sense, like an internal circuitry about where certain notes tend to move in satisfying directions. So my job is to kind of conduct the audience as this ever-changing harmonic choir, and it's almost like a spiritual feeling about it. You know?
I'll nerd out with you for a little bit. I actually do agree with you there. I think even if people don't think they're necessarily musical, I think innately people have the ability to sense where music is going. I guess if you think about a dance record, everyone knows when the drop is about to happen.
Absolutely.
And you may not know what's happening there, but you are innately feeling the music, and you know where that is taking you to, right?
You feel the tension and release.
Yeah.
You feel like, we're building. No, we're out. Or we're moving over here, or whatever. So, yeah, I think like those of us who love and play music, I think we like it's a very similar process to listening.
Yeah.
Except it's going in the other direction. You have this kind of stream of consciousness process that you tweak and improve and sharpen up, and then when that gets shared with other people, like really special things can start to happen.
Ever had a crowd where you gone, they are not on tonight. Like they are missing the cues. They are not doing what happens when just like, this is a train wreck. Please no one film this. This is bad for my credibility.
Oh man, yeah. Well, my job in those situations, because I've definitely had crowds like that. My job is to kind of you could say lower the bar, make it so that they're going to feel good about what they're doing. Because the last thing I want to do is disempower anyone. I don't want to be on the stage and thumbs downing people, you know. And so
that's where you and I are different. Yeah. I'd just call it out.
Shade.
I'd say I'd shame them.
Pure shade.
Shade and shame. It's the best way to get someone to course correct. Guys, this is terrible. This is terrible. We're starting again.
Yeah, my method is more to meet people where they are, I guess, and if people are finding it hard to do one particular thing, then I'll simplify the gesture until they get it. And the worst thing that can happen, which has happened, is that everyone laughs and it falls apart and life goes on, you know?
Yeah, totally. Yeah. You've done a bunch of collaborations in your time. The list, I mean, is crazy, but from SZA, Shawn Mendes, John Mayer, I could go on. How do they happen? Do you reach out to them? Do they reach to you? Is your DMs constantly full of people saying, hey, let's work together?
Well, it's a mixture of approaches. Sometimes people hit me up and say, Jacob, can you lend me some of your crazy chords? You know, and then sometimes I'll reach out to someone and say, hey, can you lend me some of your crazy chords? And so I think over the years I've just been so lucky to have had such crazy musical adventures with so many different people, and a lot of my heroes, really. Which is wild. You know, for example, I never thought I'd work with Joni Mitchell.
Oh yeah,
but that happened last year, and I was just mind blown. It's crazy.
Living the dream, as they say, mate.
Maybe so.
You really are living the dream. You're going to be back here. Shows happening in Brisbane, Sydney and Melbourne. Pre-sale tomorrow, full on sale Monday. That's June 16, frontiertouring.com. Jacob, before I let you go, apparently you have the ability to pick a note. Is that true? Like I can say something or do something and you can pick a note.
I can try my best.
Okay, so I've got 3 cups of water here. I don't know if you noticed that.
Oh, right.
Okay, so I've got 3 cups of water here in the studio. I got a little note handy app here.
Incredible.
So I'm going to run the note app, which is going to be listening on my phone, and it's going to tell me what note I've done, and I want to see if you
amazing.
Can pick it. Does that make sense?
Great.
All right, here we go. Let's just, they call you the Mozart of Gen Z, but how Mozart he is here. Here we go. Let's go. First note, here we go.
Oh, that sounds like an F to me.
Shut up. It's an F. Boom. Hey. Got it. There you go. That's very good.
Okay.
One more. I'll take a sip.
Oh, yeah, right. I forget whether that makes it lower or higher.
I don't know. We'll find out together.
F sharp, isn't it?
Hey. All right, here we go. Next one.
Oh, that's a G.
That is a G.
Yeah. My old friend G.
Yes, okay. I honestly, I wouldn't know what to even... I know they sound different. All I know is that they sound different. I don't know the... and.
Ooh. it's kind of like quite a flat D or maybe a D flat. What would you say?
That was, I don't know what the difference between a flat or a sharp is, but it said D on my app.
Okay,
so
great.
it was a D.
Okay,
it was
fantastic.
A D. Let's see if we can. Do you reckon I could change the note by sipping out of this?
If you down that right now,
yeah,
you're onto a winner. This is so fun. Actually, that was exactly the same.
That's pretty much exactly the same. Do you learn that, or do you just hear that? What goes on in your brain?
Yeah, they're like really old friends or something. It's like showing me the color blue or green. It's like, oh, I know that.
You
color.
see it.
Well, I don't necessarily see it, but it's a similar like associative map in my brain.
Yeah.
My mum has perfect pitch, as they call it, and so when I was a child, she used to point out sounds like car alarms and kettles and microwave beeps and say, hey, oh, what note does that feel like? And so I learned to navigate notes in a sort of like heart-based way, which is kind of a fun thing to grow up with.
So he's done the old wine glass trick a bunch of times in his life. Then. Your mum's at home having a little drink going, Jacob, what does this sound like? I'm going to have another sip. What's this one sound like? You are, honestly, to watch you do your thing is incredible.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
I am very excited to see the full shows. As I said, Brisbane, Sydney and Melbourne in December. FrontierTouring.com is the website. Jacob, pleasure to meet you in the flesh, my man.
Absolutely. So much fun.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
You're listening to the Smallsy Surgery Podcast.
Hear more from Smallsy live weeknights from 8.
Only on Nova.